of you already know me, and I'm truly honored and I'm super happy to see so many people here today. So I would like just to say a few notes before we start. As you have heard, we're recording this session. It will be shared with you after the meeting. Please take the time now to rename yourself with your name and with your organization name. Turn on your camera so we can get to know each other. And please turn on your microphone when we invite you to talk. We will use the chat as main instrument. So please write all your questions there. We will take them one by one after this short presentation, and our team here will make sure that we answer all of them. The objective of this session today is, first of all, a big welcome to all of you to the ESC Scaling Club Next Generation Computing Group. To get to know who are our members, noting that we're still onboarding some companies, and mentors early next year. To give you an overview of the activities of the club, and more specifically, the activities where you will be involved. Address all your questions or any other input that you find appropriate. So what is the EAC? You know already the EAC Scaling Club is the Deep Tech Impact Initiative of the European Innovation Council and the member states. In a nutshell, we will boost the selective deep tech scale-ups to grow rapidly. And we have an unparalleled program that is running for the next 2 years to deliver that. Together, we are going to select 100 Series A and Series B companies with the potential and the ambition to grow their valuation over the next 4 years to over 1 billion euros. If they do not have the ambition, they will be not part of the club, as this is all about building world-class businesses and will develop impactful solutions for 10 global challenges that our world is facing today. Here on this slide, on the center, you can see the club. The club is in the center and it is gathering more than 500 members that are clustered around in the 10 market opportunities. These are all 10 small communities, each of it's consisting of at least 50 organizations. On average per group, we are going to have 10 to 12 companies, 10 plus board level mentors, 10 plus active investors in the target market, 10 plus corporations, and another 10 plus agencies, media, and government agencies, associations. I use this opportunity to once again remind you that each organization is welcome to join up to 3 market opportunities, 5 for those of you who have subsidiaries in the widening countries. However, please note that for each market opportunity, we require a different team to join, respecting the gender balance, and each team member should fill an individual online form to consent. So we're here today to zoom in a little bit more on the Next Generation Computing Group. And this is an overview of the main challenges and the key technologies on which we aim to focus during the project. As you can see, the key technologies are including photonics, lasers, sentence, quantum computing chips, semiconductors, robotics. On this slide, I'm really happy to share that our group has more than 30 member organizations already. And we ask you to join with a team of 2 people, so that equals to more than 60 members. What is even more impressive is that we have representatives for more than 16 European countries. And meanwhile, we have even more that are in the pipeline and that have already confirmed interest. In the briefing that you have already received, you have a list of the group members. But note that it is dynamic and it is subject to change as the onboarding process is still ongoing. So you are going to receive a final list with all the members once we complete the project. Some details about the group management. I already presented myself. My name is Denica and I'm your group manager and the point of contact during the project for you. You have the support also of the other team members. You can see Donna here. She's the group developer. Sasha, she's our group analyst. And I would like to present you also the president of our group, Jean-Michel Deligny. I would like to invite him for a short welcome to all of you. And before inviting him, I just wanted to share that Jean-Michel was involved in the pilot EAC Scaling Up project, and his experience will be invaluable for the club. His role entitles chairing the selection panel meetings and the final selection of the companies with the full support of our team. Jean-Michel, I think you hear us. The floor is yours.
Sure. Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for joining the session. I'm actually quite excited about this whole initiative. I've been a long-standing supporter of the European Innovation Council. I think it's an exciting opportunity for Europe. Potentially, it's one of the largest investors in deep tech in Europe. And we should help them to make a success of this initiative. And one of the initiatives is obviously the acceleration program, which we're talking about just now. We picked up valuable lessons from last year. We're trying to do something more sophisticated this year. It's more targeted, as you can tell, with these 10 market opportunities we've distinguished. And it's also open not only to EIC-backed companies, but to venture-backed companies at large. And that's quite exciting because that's essentially trying to join up the public sector with the commercial sector. I think this is rather valuable, especially as obviously it's an opportunity which is across borders. So that's why I'm very keen behind this initiative. And hopefully we can make it happen together.
Thank you very much, Jean-Michel. It is a pleasure to have you here today. So, on the topic, what companies we are looking for? The companies that we would like to have in our project need to have a previous funding of minimum 7.5 million or 5 million euro if they're in Horizon Europe widening countries and associated countries. The last round of funding should be either in 2019 or after that. They need to be headquartered in Europe or Horizon Europe associated countries, and important also to be within the scope of one of the 10 market opportunities. We have the ambition to grow at least 20% of the portfolio companies to 1 billion valuation in the next 4 years. So that's why the minimum criteria for nominated companies is to have a valuation starting from 25 to 60 million and with the potential to grow massively.
Denisa, do you want to ask questions at the end, or can we do it throughout the presentation? How would you like us to do for questions?
You can already put them in the chat, as I have colleagues here on the call who can answer right away, actually. And after the presentation, we're going to address them one by one. Is that fine?
Yes, absolutely. Sorry, thank you.
Okay, thank you. And now I want to share with you the nomination process. So each stakeholder organization can nominate maximum 5 companies across all the market opportunities. Following this webinar now, you will receive an email with this slide deck that we're presenting and link to this nomination form that you will use. And we will ask you to submit your champions by the 21st of November. So this is a very important date, 21st of November. We are going to ask your nominations until then. And how the selection process will go. We will contact all the nominated companies by you and ask them to apply by submitting a pitch deck. You will receive the 25 voting list with data and pitch deck of each company that have applied. Investors and corporations will vote for a minimum of 6 companies, noting that they cannot vote in a nominated or having already invested in the company. They will have 1 week to complete the rating in 6 evaluation criteria. The goal of the selection is to choose and attract companies with the potential and ambition to grow their valuation beyond 1 billion and become the world champions. So after receiving your voting, the consortium partners and the EIC will validate the ranking, taking into consideration the observations shared by all the stakeholder members during the review call and matching the minimum criteria of the companies. Here you can see an overview of the next generation computing roadmap. There will be a publication of the roadmap where you have a very important role. What is the roadmap basically? This is a publication. It is identifying the challenges and the opportunities and how to address them in the specific subsectors. It will constitute useful material to guide mentorship work, presenting a broad pan-European vision and become a toolbox for European scale-ups. You will receive huge visibility through the roadmap, positioning you as the thought leaders in the European ecosystem. Your first involvement here will be in early December this year, and you will receive detailed information of what is required exactly in a couple of weeks. So we're not going to go in more details here, but if any question arises, please put them in the chat, as my colleagues, as I said, are here to support you. On this slide, you have an overview of the roadshows that we are planning to take place during the project. The ones you see in pink, the 4 ones in a circle, these are the club-only events, and there we are going to gather only the club members. So the first event, and save the date for you, is the Ignition Forum, which is going to take place on the 9th and 10th of April 2024 in Belgium. Then there we are going to gather the first 4 groups, all the members of the first 4 groups that we are launching currently. Later in 2024 and early in 2025, we will launch the investment and the partnership events. And we have planned already 24 events on site, which will be replicated in also 24 online events. And we anticipate minimum 2 on site and 2 online that are addressing the next generation computing. Here on this slide, we have highlighted some of the frequently asked questions which we have already raised. As you're going to receive this presentation, I'm not going to go through all of them, but I would like just to point out some important moments, such as your contacts will be not disclosed with the companies if you do not consent to that. So you have that option in the nomination form that you're going to receive. You can choose either your contacts to be reviewed or not. You will see also the list of the widening countries to which the minimum criteria of 5 million applies. And these are basically the companies that are mainly headquartered in Southern and Eastern and Central Europe. Another important question that is rising a lot of times is the definition of the previous funding. So this is very important. We have a very broad definition of previous funding, and we accept any kind of funding. So this is not only about the public funds or the equity investments. Any kind of funding is considered a previous funding. In summary, what are the next steps? So you're going to receive briefing with the presentation that we're sharing now, also linked to the recording. There it will be the nomination form link. Important date, as I said already, to remember is the 21st of November, until when we are collecting your nominations. Each organization can nominate 5 companies across all 10 market opportunities. Other important dates to be saved are the review session, 22nd of February, where all of us will gather again in order to discuss our champions. And another important date, save the dates, 9 and 10 of April in Brussels, where we will gather. This is the kickoff meeting of the first 4 groups that we're launching now. This is the Ignition Forum. And now it's time for your questions. So I see that there are already some in the chat.
Maybe we can stop sharing, Denisa, so it's easier to see each other.
Yes.
Thank you.
To see the chat. Okay, we have Carlos, who has the first question. Carlos, would you like to address it?
Yeah, so do the companies, did I hear well that they must have raised 5 million? And what if the company grew organically? You know, the founders, they put a couple of money and then they grew. So you need to have raised 5 million?
Well, let me answer this one. Sorry, Teresa, go ahead. I spoke before my turn.
Well, in principle, yes. I mean, the minimum 5 million is for the widening countries, even though indeed we have a very broad definition. So when with regards to self-funding, yeah, it's a good question indeed, but in principle, they should have either grants or equity investment, or this is more or less the type of funding we are looking for, or debt. So this is I think this is basically it's organic growing is not going, but going into your next question regarding the 1 billion valuation, because we have received indeed some criticisms or questions regarding valuation, because it can be, you know, it's subjective, it's depending on the market feeling at the moment. But so, of course, this is why your role is so important when you are reviewing, especially the investors and the corporates. We will review and rate the companies. Indeed, to take into consideration other metrics whenever they are available. So in SaaS, you can have the IRR, but which is not so much in other areas, but also looking at the business profile of the companies. And that's why the pitch deck is so important. In this time, we are also looking in the pitch deck. So basically answering, yeah, Jean-Michel.
Maybe I can comment, because at the end of the day, I'm going to be chairing the selection committee, and therefore, I will be overseeing some of the conflicting criteria that we have. First of all, we have to say, just through the genesis of the program, we have this EIC pocket, and then we have the non-EIC pocket. The EIC pocket are by definition companies which have been funded by EIC. There may be some commercial investors involved, but in some cases there will be public investors only, and that's a pocket which is a bit different from the I guess more commercial ventures which have only commercial investors on board. The second thing which is worth mentioning is obviously there'll be some distinction between the larger countries, where typically the companies are a bit more mature, and the Southern Europe and Eastern Europe countries where companies and the ecosystem tend to be a bit less mature. And obviously we're trying to keep the balance because at the end of the day, this is a European program which involves, which encourages participation. So I suspect the criteria are going to be somewhat location dependent, and we will be trying to apply. The third thing I'd like to mention is this program, at the end of the day, behind all the process and formalism that we need to have, is about encouraging people to be exposed to cross-current across countries, so across geographies, but also meeting advisors, investors, non-execs, of all kinds that probably they wouldn't otherwise, and through that help them grow. With this in mind, what we have found, through the first experience, is that some companies, are very keen of the kudos, but they don't care so much about the program. Some benefits, and are very keen and are good at exploiting the benefits of the program. And I think part of the selection will be trying to suss out which companies are more motivated to join in, which companies will most benefit from the program. And here it will be a balance between the maturity of the company and of course, its keenness to get involved. So as you can tell, there's lots of bells and whistles, which means that we cannot capture fully in just a few criteria, and I think that will be the role of this committee, to figure out which companies will benefit the most. And at the end of the day, it should probably be the guiding principle. Does that help or confuse?
It's just I'm not used to building stuff. I'm coming from the photonics side, not from the electronic semiconductor software side. And in the photonics hardware, a billion valuation, well, that is not very common.
May I just continue the point on this 1 billion? It's about the ambition of the companies. So if you don't have that ambition and just the goal is to go to the next level and sell your company to American acquirer, nothing wrong with this, but it's not the company ideally you would like to get here. So it's really, we want to showcase here the companies, to select them, of course, also to support them, to guide them insofar as it is possible, but also to showcase them and give them more visibility. And if the program is 2 years for the company, so if there's a goal to already sell the company in 1 year, there is no point. And if we know this, there's no point helping the company.
So already going into the next question from Paul Murray, maybe what are the benefits? I think it's just what Jean-Michel has said. It's very much about, it really depends on the company, but it's a lot of the visibility, pan-European visibility, and the connections there might, that from the experience from the pilot, most of the companies said that was extremely valuable. The ones that were a little bit more early stage, they benefit immensely also from the mentorship. So we couple the companies with non-executive level board level mentors, which can have a major impact in some of the companies. So it does depend on where the company is, but it goes about visibility, connections, and improving their story, and in order to raise funding, further funding, or partnering. I don't know if yes.
But I think it may be good if somebody of the team could show the arrow, which shows the 5 or 6 steps. And it's good to, because what you would like here in this call is that you start thinking about your portfolio companies that you want to nominate. And of course, so this is why at the end of the day, the company needs to apply very simply. So if while somebody is loading that arrow file that you all have received, basically it is, it's called a club. It's not a project or a program, it's called a club. Because we want to assemble here around the 10 companies, the 12 companies actually in every group, 12 mentors that are really working as a group together. Yourselves, the investors, the corporates, the agencies that are working together. We have a minimum of 40 other members besides the companies. So there can be more. All the point is to support the companies throughout the process. The support is soft support, but it's also having a more direct link between the companies. So that's the first point here on the stakeholder relationship. Second is indeed this mentoring program, where there is a collaborative part, there is an individual part, but is also this road mapping part that Denitsa alluded to. The road mapping part is really to give the companies visibility in a sort of overview of where this market is going. And we will solicit your input as investors, corporates, agencies, specialists, for example, like Epic on photonics, with relevant data, with relevant testimonials, with relevant quotes from your sites. So the mentoring program, of course, helpful. We have tried to make this as efficient as possible, both for the mentors and the companies, because we know time is really tough. The events that Denitsa showed, so there will be 2 focused investment events for this group in digital, plus 3 partnering events, plus actually 3 club events, on addition to 4 club events actually. So there is a lot of events, but it's not just about events. The mentoring process will really identify the context that the companies really need, and therefore bringing those contexts to the events where the companies can meet them, including yourselves as club members. Point number 4 is about recognition. So we'll showcase the companies as part of the reports, but also in individual contexts. Number 5 is regulatory influence. And market regulatory influence is important in many markets, where take about AI, for example, or taking about specific support that is available for photonics or for quantum, both at the European level, at the national level, but also even at the international level. And a set point number 6 is all about time. So we want to be very, very careful when you're asking members, in particular the companies, to contribute time, because we know that's a scarce resource. All the services will be evaluated on a 6-monthly basis and an annual basis. If they're not perceived to add value to the companies, we will cut them or we'll change them. So there's a very strong value-added goal for all the services. So the companies will get a full picture of this. It's free for them, but the time commitment is a little higher than for you, 2 days per year for 2 people combined. I think we're adding up to 5 days, but it's for 5 people over 1 year. And it's all in sessions. There is a compulsory part, which is this 5 days, but there's also an optional part, which they can join in if they like the services. Of course, we can put all of that in a very clear email once the companies start applying.
Okay, maybe we can go also through the questions. So Paul, there is the rest of your question, funding available through connections, but no direct funding. So we're not providing any funding directly, but of course connections to investors, including also EIC frame. There is also a question now from Olivier Rousseau, which is a good question regarding EIC and non-EIC. Indeed, we did not highlight too much how the EIC is coming into play in this presentation. So the EIC companies, so those that have received already funding from the EIC, have been already shortlisted according to the criteria that we have shown to you. So 7.5 million or 5 million. So we have all this data. We have shortlisted, matching them to the 10 market groups. So also for the next generation computing, we have pre-selected these EIC companies. Now we are coming to you to nominate additional companies. So you can either nominate EIC, which is reinforcing if some of the companies you have in your portfolio have indeed EIC funding and you think it's no problem, you can nominate. So this reinforces the interest of the potential of the company, but you can also nominate companies that don't have any EIC funding. Okay, this is why the novelty of this edition, which is we aim to have 50% of the portfolio EIC supported and the rest of the portfolio, the remaining 50% non-EIC supported. So I think I addressed your question, Olivier.
Yes, there was the gist of my question indeed. Still, to clarify, so every member has the right to nominate 5 companies.
Yes.
You might have more than 5 companies in mind. So if some of them are already part of the EIC, how do we know if they are, like in the shortlist or pre-selected and we focus on others, or if we should push them forward? It's maybe.
Yeah, so they all have to go through the review and the selection process, anyway, EIC or non-EIC, so the same process for everyone. Now, regarding, it's up to you. So if there is a company you have in your portfolio that you have strong feelings and you think it's really important, even though they have EIC, then you can use one of your nominations spots to re-emphasize that.
But if you don't, they will be part of the reviews and discussions anyway.
They will be, if they are nominated, and yes. So this is why your role is so important. I mean, this is not an open application. Companies to be part of this program, either they have been shortlisted from the EIC or they are nominated by yourselves. And the member states, we have some representatives of the member states. So this is the condition to be part of this project. Oh. So your nomination is already a credential for the company.
Oh. So do we have access to the shortlist provided by the EIC or not?
No, we will not share the shortlisted because there's no added value for the companies to share with you the shortlisted. So yeah, you have to nominate based on your feelings. So you can use any 5 companies that you can nominate. But do use as guidelines the minimum criteria that we have referred, the 7.5 million, except if you are from Southern Europe and Eastern Europe, 5 million minimum. Previous funding, and the matching to the market opportunity scope. That's also important.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you.
There is a question here also, how many applications are expecting? So company applications, yeah, so we have shortlisted, just so for information, at between 25 to 30 from EIC. We aim to have at least another 25 to 30 nominations non-EIC from all of you. And then we will have this after validation. What we mean by validation, we will look into the data and previous funding and all that and see if they qualify. And then we will contact the companies to apply. We aim to have at the minimum 25 applications from this 50 listing that target listing, what we call the 50 listing, so which the nominated and shortlisted companies. And but of course, not all companies are at the right place and they want to participate in this program. So those that we aim to have at least 50% of them applying to the program. And this is why maybe it's why your nomination. So if in the nomination you can opt in or opt out, that we refer to you. But of course, when we contact the companies, your nomination, if you agree that we share your we refer to you, it's of course also reinforcing to the company the interest of joining the program. So we will refer to your nomination if you agree to it, but you can choose in the form not to disclose. In those cases, we will not, of course, refer to you. There is one correction, though, I would like to highlight when Denitsa spoke. So you will not be able to review a company that is in your portfolio or you have invested in. But you can nominate a company and then review it in case you have no investment in it. So the only situation where is there conflict of interest is if you are supporting the company already.
Teresa, I would expect to have actually quite a few nominations, right? So I would expect to review 100 or 150 companies, right?
Well, you will only review those that apply. That's the thing, Jean-Michel. So this is the difference regarding to the other edition. In the other edition, we had the listing first, and then we contacted the companies. Here, it's reverse. So that's why we have the pitch deck for you to, when you do the review, you will have the pitch deck of the company. So companies do need to confirm the interest to join the program and submit a pitch deck. There is no long application process for the companies because they have been nominated or pre-selected. So we will ask them to provide only a pitch deck. Yeah.
But if we all do our jobs right, which is obviously encourage companies to apply, and being sensible in terms of which companies might benefit from this acceleration program, hopefully we should have quite a few.
That would be a 100% success rate. So between 25 is the minimum we want for each group. So 50 per group. That would be
At the end of the day, this is a great opportunity for every company to get visibility. And at the end of the day, we all the companies that we're involved with crave for visibility. So just for that very reason, they would want to apply. Even if they don't win, and they're not part of the 12 selected, they want to have spread their message to the bunch of people who are on the selection committee.
Yeah.
Because they want to spread their name. By the way, one of the lessons from last year is that the ability, it's a bit of a cliche, but the ability of the companies to present themselves to outsiders is still modest in Europe. Too many companies make it too complicated to understand what they do and too complicated to understand why they're different from their competitors. So as we encourage companies to nominate themselves, we should encourage them to really put their best foot forward in explaining what they do and why they're different compared to others, to a bunch of outsiders like ourselves who know not so much about necessarily what the company does.
Yeah, that's a very good point indeed, Jean-Michel. I mean, just the fact that they are shared, and so that's an incentive for them already to participate. We aim. So the minimum, indeed, thank you for the correction. It's minimum 25, but we have a 50 target list nominated and shortlisted.
I hope to do better.
Okay, I do too. So there are, at the beginning, you mentioned, okay, this is an important question indeed. So the Series A, Series B, it's also, the criteria is the minimum 7.5 or 5 million, depending on where you're located. So it's this company seed stage, but received 7.5 million it's eligible. You can submit it. I don't know if it will be selected to participate. Because we indeed per group we will have 10 to 12 companies that will be high ranked to participate. There is a question regarding is it possible to get some more detail about the market opportunities? So there is we didn't share here, but it will be in the information in the package. The titles and the scope of all 10 market opportunities. Yeah, it needs Eva is already. However, I should highlight that one of your important roles, and this is actually going to take place in the market roadmap, is that you will use the club members to narrow and, you know, to frame the scope of each market opportunity. And this is where your role will be very important. So I encourage all of you to participate. You will be notified by our colleagues, Romulo, tomorrow, and ourselves. It's where we have the opportunity to discuss what are the most important market opportunities, so that we can scope and narrow each one of the market opportunities, because they are still very broad. So this is a very important exercise that we will do together with you in order to produce the market roadmap. So this, indeed, you will receive now a first draft of the market, but it's work in progress, and we work together in parallel with all the groups in order to get the market roadmap with all the content, and this will be published. So the contributors to each of the market roadmaps are actually the club members, essentially. So this is not desk research, this is not report. Of course, there is some element of it as to start with, but all the content will be a collaborative process with the group.
At the same time, we have to be realistic. You know, we already have 5 sub-segments in next-gen computing.
Yeah.
So, you know, if we have 10 or 12 companies, it's going to be 2 essentially per segment. So
no, but that's exactly the case. That's why you're important. Maybe you can filter it even from 5 to 3. I don't know, or maybe this is why it's important. And indeed, we should take into account the companies that you want to support, Jean-Michel. So this is an ongoing process until May. The publication will be only in May. And this is what I'm saying. So we have now a first draft with those 5 segments, but your role will also be to scope the priorities, to prioritize the segments, and even in each segment, maybe even at the value chain. I mean, so this is.
I'm intrigued at how to prioritize between photonics, quantum, semiconductors, robotics, or you know. So anyway.
Yeah.
We'll try our best.
Yes, we count on you for that.
But I suspect it will be dependent on the quality of the companies which apply to the program, and I suspect it will be in the program, and that in turn will define the opportunities that we go after. So it will be bottom up rather than top down.
Well, I think it works both sides. Also, from you investors, what are the type of companies you would want to, or the segments you would want to invest in, why? So I think it's a kind of, you have to take both sides, and that's indeed why the discussion is important, and to have your input there also. So, yeah. So there is a question, do you have it easy for that clear states tangible benefits becoming part of the, we don't have it yet finished, Git, thank you for the question, but we will indeed, with a 1-pager and a teaser for the startups.
Yeah, I mean, for what it's worth, you know, based on the experience of last year, it was really visibility.
Thank you all. Thank you, Teresa. Do you have some more questions? Any other questions to be raised?
I think Jean-Michel was talking and I can see his face, but we lost your sound, Jean-Michel.
Oh, right. Sorry, can you hear me now?
We can hear you now, but she did not interrupt you. She thought you were finished because we couldn't hear you.
So benefits, you know, visibility, sorry about that. Visibility, ability to articulate your story in a punchy way. And third, this, you know, meeting people, and serendipity, as you know, in the venture world, is key to building stories. And here we gathering and through the events and through the programs, you know, tens and dozens of opportunities to meet strangers, and hopefully some of the strangers will be part of the journey of these companies. So think of it as a great way to accelerate serendipity. Now we can apply, you know, a level of formalism and process into all this, but at the end of the day, these are the 3 tangible benefits in my mind.
Thank you, Jean-Michel. Any further questions?
Yes, do we have time, Denitsa, to invite all members here? Because you are members, you're a stakeholder member of the club. We would love, we look very much forward to working with you for the next 2 years. I see fantastic names around this. So if we can take 30 seconds to have everyone just briefly introducing themselves, I think it would be fantastic. You did a great job, Denitsa, keeping this very sharp and efficient so that we can maybe take the time.
Absolutely, William. This is the idea. We just wanted to have enough questions to address enough time to address every question. So we have done that, and we have still some time. So it will be great to see who is here with us. We're a lot of people, so really a short overview of you and your organization, like 30 minutes, will be great. And I will start one by one, following how are the names in the chat. So we have Alicia here. Alicia, do you hear us?
Hi everyone. So we are from OTB Ventures, so early stage deep tech fund. We invest in 4 key verticals, which are AI and enterprise automation, space tech, fintech, and cybersecurity. Our core strategy revolves around Series A, but we also do seed and Series B as well. Initial tickets from 1 million up to 7. And I'm investment associate here at OTB, and we have Carol with me, and
hi everyone.
He is a partner here.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to have you here. Alina from Romania.
Hi, everybody. Also from my side, my name is Alina Georgescu. I'm from Catalyst Romania, investment manager. Been with the team for 7 years. We at Catalyst have average ticket sizes of 2 million euro, just to set a bit the expectations. And we can invest both in companies from Romania, but also neighboring countries and rest of the world. We are industry agnostic. Usually we prefer software as a service, enterprise software, and recurrent revenue models. If you have any further questions, I would be more than happy to discuss with each of you, because we are also very interested in co-investment opportunities in the region. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alina. Now I would like to invite our media representative, Andriy.
Hi, everyone. My name is Andriy Degeler. I represent The Next Web, or TNW. We are a media organization located, headquartered in Amsterdam. We write stories about and for the technology ecosystem in Europe. Our main audience groups are startups, investors, corporates, and policymakers. And we are definitely looking forward to learning more about everything that this project will become in the future, and meeting all the great startups that will be will be nominated later. Thank you so much. Pleasure to meet you all.
Thank you, Andriy. Now our Euronext representative, Antoine.
Hello everyone. I'm very glad to enter this EIC Scaling Club. So I'm representing Euronext, the Pan-European Stock Exchange. We are deeply convinced that there is a future giant in this list, and deep tech is clearly a key for stock exchange. So very glad to contribute to this program.
Thank you very much. Carlos, the floor is yours now.
Hello, my name is Carlos Lee. I work with EPIC. EPIC is a not-for-profit industry association, like one of those many in Brussels, but we're very technology-oriented, business-oriented. Our association has 830 member companies. These are photonics hardware companies in general. So they tend to be a bit smaller companies than some other ones. But we already have at least 10 of them which are in the computing field. So I look forward to engaging these photonics hardware companies into this program. Thank you.
Thank you, Carlos. Now, Emma. Emma, do you hear us?
Yes, sorry. Hello, so I am Emma from Hello Tomorrow. So actually working on the project, we're leading the renewable energies track, and we're also responsible for the market opportunity roadmap. So if there are any questions related to that, feel free to reach out to myself or Luca, who is already on this call.
Thank you, Emma. Gitte, Bosch Ventures, the floor is yours.
Yeah, hi. Bosch Ventures, we are a corporate VC acting globally. I'm based in Stuttgart in Germany. And my colleague, Susanna, who will also be joining, she's based in Frankfurt. We invest usually from Series A onwards, ticket sizes initially 3, 5, up to 10. That's us. And we do hardware, we do software, as long as it's tech.
Thank you, Gitte. Hilde, the floor is yours.
Thank you, and hello from Oslo. I'm Hilde, working for the Research Council of Norway, and I am one of 2 national contact points for EIC, and I'm looking forward to learning more about what this club can offer. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Hilde. Iraklis, do you hear us?
Yes, of course. Thank you very much. I represent the FFG, the Austrian Research Promotion Agency, which is the national funding agency for industrial research and development in Austria. Hello from Vienna. We provide direct grants to both companies and universities with an annual public budget of 1.5 billion euros. And I'm leading the team Business Innovation, focusing on scaling up companies made in Austria. We have grants which are industry agnostic. I'm also EIC national contact point, and we are looking forward to building bridges to our current investments with other VCs, investors, stakeholders all around Europe. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. Kirk, the floor is yours.
There we go. Hi, everyone. My name is Kirk Willett. I represent ST Micro. We're the largest semiconductor company in Europe. We manufacture and design and market semiconductors globally. We don't have a venture arm, but I'm part of the strategy group, and we scout globally for startups and hoping to see some interesting new companies to scale up and work with ST in the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now time for Laura. Laura, do you hear us? Okay. Marta, we can go back to Laura afterwards. Marta, you hear us?
Yes. Hello, my name is Marta Garcia. I'm from Indra, which is a Spanish large company focused on the defense, transport, and air traffic sectors. We participate now in several research and development projects related to quantum technologies and also their industrial application in these sectors, and we are really grateful to be part of this forum. I'm excited of these challenges and opportunities that quantum computing presents. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Maynard?
Hi, everyone. My name is Maynard. I'm a director of emerging technologies at Temasek. Temasek is a Singaporean state-owned investment firm with about $300 billion on the balance sheet. So our group is an emerging technologies group that looks at early stage deep tech opportunities, including climate tech, future of compute and cognition. So that includes hardware, semiconductors, AI, quantum computing, photonics. We look at disruptive materials as well as space tech. So very nice to meet all of you and looking forward to this forum.
Thank you very much, and pleasure also to have you here. We're now expecting Nadia.
Hello, good morning, everybody. Nadia Serena from ST Microelectronics. I am a colleague of Kirk. I'm working in a corporate R&D team in Italy, and we work on innovation on different dimensions. Computing is one of that, so we are willing to understand how we can contribute as a big corporation and semiconductor company.
Thank you very much, Nadia. Olivier?
Yes, good morning. Thanks, Denisa. So I'm Olivier Rousseau. I'm leading the venturing activities and spin-off activities for IMEC. So IMEC, it's a world-leading semiconductors and nanotechnologies research center. We've got 5,500 researchers. 800 million euros of revenue, clean rooms worth 3.5 billion euros. We lead the roadmaps in developing semiconductors for the world, basically. Me and my team focus on creating spin-offs with some of the core technologies of IMEC. We have created 32 of them in the last 6 years, and glad to be part of this very nice group of investors and like-minded innovators.
Thank you very much, Olivier. Patrick?
Absolutely. Hi for Stockholm, and maybe to begin with a big tribute to Jean-Michel to lead this group, and also Bill and the whole Tech4 team to drive this another cycle. I think this is outstanding. We need more buzz around deep tech in Europe. Obviously, innovation and teams are around, but capital is not. So I think this may hopefully shape the ecosystem. So I'm with Industrifonden, Stockholm-based early stage venture fund. We are broad. We deal with software, hardware, and even life sciences investments. I think we are the oldest venture firm in deep tech in Europe, at least. And I'm super glad to be part of this, and with friends and new friends in this group, hopefully seeing each other face to face soon.
Thank you very much, Patrick. Now, Paul from Atlantic Bridge. Paul, do you hear us?
Yeah, just going off mute there. Hi, everyone. Good to see lots of familiar faces. I'm Paul Murray with Atlantic Bridge. We're a deep tech VC fund. We focus in particular on areas like semiconductor, foundational software in the software stack, AI, cybersecurity, and typically invest at the Series A, Series B level with a 5 to 10 million euro first check. Looking forward to working with everyone on this project.
Thank you very much, Paul. I'd like to invite Pedro now.
Yes, hi everyone. Very good to see some very familiar faces and some new ones as well. I'm Pedro. I'm one of the partners at Armilar. We're a venture firm based out of Lisbon, Portugal. We've been around for 20-something years. I've been with the firm for 14 years. We do essentially being software-centric and software technology-centric, but otherwise industry agnostic. Invest throughout Europe, of course, with a strong foothold in Iberia, but otherwise investing anywhere in Europe. Early stage, so seed to Series A typically.
Thank you very much, Pedro. Sophia?
Hi, everyone. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I've been working at the Portuguese National Innovation Agency. Basically, I support companies, tech and deep tech companies, compete for funding internationally. And it has been really a huge experience to help them. And I've learned a lot about their challenges. So I'm really eager to learn even more about the challenges of growing these kind of companies. I've been in the past 2 years focused on helping them compete at the EIC Accelerator. And I think you'll be happy to know that Portugal in the last funding round was second behind France in total funding. So this means that we already have very, very interesting deep tech companies that are really leading in their sectors. And this is very good news for our ecosystem. Thank you, Hilda. And that's all. I'm really happy to be here. And I would really like to explore the networking and learn a lot more about the challenges of growing these kind of companies. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Sophia. Susanne?
Yes, Susanna, I'm partner with Amadeus Capital Partners. We're a deep tech investment firm based in the UK. Broad portfolio over most of the market opportunities you have shown, and hopefully also produced a couple of those billion-dollar companies over the last 2 decades in Europe. And usually we're not well known for our early stage funds, so supporting deep tech companies very early on with $1 to $3 million tickets. But we're also now having a dedicated strategy for early growth, which I think is a super cool and high affinity to what the EIC Scaling Club tries to do. And so I'm really happy to be part of this initiative and project, and hopefully will also be able to achieve some tangible results for Europe and for the companies that are selected and are growing. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Viviana?
Hello, good morning. Thanks so much for organizing this meeting. I'm Viviana from GDP Venture Capital, that, let's say, is the venture capital arm of Cassa Depositi e Prestiti, which is the Italian national promotional bank. Recently, we, as a GDP Venture Capital, we created more than 3 billion of assets under management. And usually we cover the entire life cycle of startups. So from pre-seed to growth, let's say like late stage. And we actually invest also in different sectors, from space to biotechnology to quantum computing. And of course, we are very happy to participate in order to explore co-investment and network opportunities and how the European market venture capital is evolving. So thanks so much for this invitation.
Thank you very much. Last but not least, I hope that I pronounced the name correctly. Please let me know. Wired from Norway. Do you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. So the correct pronunciation is Vakar Ahmed. So I'm a colleague of Hilde Garek. She has already presented. So from the Norwegian Research Council, which is a research funding agency. So we, at Research Council, each year we invest almost 1 billion euros in research and research-based innovation projects. I'm in a department enabling technologies, which is really focused on the next generation computation. So we have a large portfolio of projects and the companies which are in this domain. I'm also in the EIC program committee, Norwegian delegate in the EIC Pathfinder Accelerator and also the transition program. And also in cluster 4, which is digital industry and space. So I look forward to collaborate with most of you sitting in this club.
Thank you very much. So these were our stakeholder members. We have on the call.
Sorry, sorry. I think Laura is back with us. No.
Laura, do you hear us?
Oh, no.
Okay, Laura, if you hear us.
No, she's off again. So she might have some problem.
I think bad connection because she's in and out. Was probably bad connection. So these were the stakeholders. Okay, Laura, we still cannot hear you.
Well, in any case, Laura is also from Indra, so yeah, I already presented the company.
Okay, thank you very much. So as I said, these were our stakeholders currently on the call, and we have William Stevens, Teresa Cunha, who already answered a lot of your questions. Also, Eva, who is business development in Teftor, Nicolette Komitska, who is a project manager. So we have like 1 minute left if you would like to say something about our team.
Great job. I'm going to say one thing, because I realized I didn't introduce myself. Just for those who don't know me, I've been in tech investment banking for nearly 30 years. And one of the reasons we all want to support this program is there is an insane amount of deep technology coming out of Europe. And this is, a great opportunity for Europe to catch up, obviously, with the US market. And second, we are great at building companies, but we're not so great at making them big. And this is what this, program is about, scaling up businesses. Now, on one hand, we are trying to be inclusive. On the other, we're trying to be exclusive because we want to focus on the more ambitious companies. And that's the conundrum that we are going to be noodling over as a team over the coming months.
Thank you very much, Jean-Michel. So we're almost closing the process of onboarding stakeholders. Feel free to reach out to us with recommendations of other potential stakeholders. As we very well know, this is all about the relationship that we are creating here. If you have any friends of yours that deserve to be invited, please make us informed and we will gladly share, extend an invitation with them. Any last questions, feedback?
Yes, then it's a great job. We very much look forward to supporting you as members for the next 2 years. That's what it's all about, and also the companies that you will jointly select. This is a very important mission we're looking forward to, and very much thanking you for taking the plunge with us and working with us to make this happen.
Thank you all.
Right.
Thank you for
Thank
being
you.
with us.
Thanks. Thank you all. Have a good day.